In the recent chapter, we once again saw two mysterious characters who suddenly arrived at Elbaf. With the new clue added in the latest chapter, the likelihood of these two being as a member of Holy Knight has increased. So what is this clue we are referring to? It is the weapon used by Shanks lookalike. If you notice, his weapon of choice is a sword, which is very similar to the one seen in the silhouette of the central Holy Knight. However, the one who stood out the most in this chapter was the mysterious woman. It was shown that she attacked an Elbaf guard with incredible speed. Though it wasn't immediately apparent what exactly she used to attack, but upon closer inspection, her weapon of choice seems to be bandages. Beforehand, there was no visible bandages on the giant's guard body, but later when he was writhing in pain, we noticed that he now had bandages on various parts of his body. Additionally, since she herself has bandages on her mouth, it makes sense to think that this is her weapon. Using bandages as a weapon isn't new in anime. We have seen it with Eraserhead in My Hero Academia. Anyway, the highlight of what these two mysterious characters did was their interest in Loki, as they were eager to find him. This raises the question, why? Why are they looking for Loki? Could they have a specific purpose for this? Here is an idea about the possible reason they are searching for Loki. Could it be that the purpose of world government killing King Herald was because of the devil fruit he possessed? The world government may want to acquire King Herald's devil fruit, and when Loki found out about this, at the time the Holy Knights killed King Herald. He may have taken action to observe and avenge his father. In fact, it was the world government that was truly behind it. It's possible. Another idea regarding world government setup involving Loki will be discussed in a separate video. But if you have other idea about Loki's potential plot or the death of King Herald, feel free to comment down below. We can discuss them. Now let's move on to the other contents of the chapter 1135. First, the old library. If you haven't noticed, for several chapters now, Robin hasn't read some of the books here. This makes me think that this library will play a vital role in the future chapter of the Elbaf arc. For example, the Holy Knights might find out that the books of are hidden here. This could give them a motive to burn or destroy this library. Speaking of the old library, we also learned the name of the owl guarding it, and his name is Biblo. According to Saul, Biblo has been living in Elbaf for hundreds of years. For last two chapters, seeing Biblo's appearance feels bit nostalgic. His vibe is very similar to Zunisha and Emmet, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is revealed later on that Biblo is like Zunisha and Emmet and is somehow connected to Joy Boy. Who knows, with the revelation that his devil fruit is responsible for enlarging the books in old library, it turns out that this ability may also have been used by Joy Boy over 800 years ago. For example, what if Noah was just a normal size and it was Biblo's devil fruit that made it so enormous? It's possible. And who knows, just like how Luffy used the voice of all things to communicate with Zunisha and Emmet, he could also communicate with Biblo in the same way. Now if we talk about Jarul, one question arises in his scenario: the sword lodged in his head. If you notice, before he landed at Luffy's location, the sword wasn't visible or was hidden in his helmet as he claimed. But when he landed near Luffy's group, it was shown that he already had a sword in his head. Did he acquire it after landing near Luffy, or was the sword there all along and just hidden by his helmet? If the sword was nearly stuck in his head before landing, this means someone is attempting to take his life. As I mentioned in my other video, if there is one living character who could reveal the history of Joy Boy, Nika and other legendary figures in One Piece world, it's Jarul, as he is currently 408 years old. Now there was another giant which was highlighted in the later part of this chapter, and his name is Stansain. Luffy recognized him immediately. Stansain was the one who noticed Riley when he used Conqueror's Haki to save Kami at the auction house. Now you might wonder how Luffy recognized Stansain despite the latter looking vastly during that time, because after all, Luffy has a history of failing to recognize someone even if he spent long time with them. For instance, when Marco the Phoenix was mentioned, Luffy didn't recognize him even though they were together during the Marineford War. In fact, it was Robin who reminded Luffy about Marco even though she wasn't at Marineford. The explanation I see here is simply because Stansain is a giant. Luffy has encountered only few giants before arriving at Elbaf, and he likely remembered each one due to their unique sizes, such as Oimo and Kashi, whom he quickly recognized at Egghead arc. As for the new attire of the Straw Hat Pirates for the Elbaf arc, as usual, their outfit suits them perfectly. What stood out to me the most was Jinbei's outfit, as his belt prominently displays a dragon logo similar to the dragon seen in Ryugu Kingdom of the Fishman Island. Well, the video ends here, but I like to know your opinion, so make sure to let me know in the comments. If you enjoy the video, do give it a like and also subscribe to the channel. We will meet again with another amazing video. Until then, goodbye.